Hi there, so this is Arvind. So back from Chinta, this will be the continuation of the video that I had made earlier on introduction to generating functions via partitions. So I left you on a note of thinking about binary numbers and certain impositions on generating function. How do I get the point that there is a unique representation for each binary number for each number n, positive number n, using binary representation. So that I will tell today using the generating functions that I said for you to look about, and then we'll the same idea extending and noticing a pattern will lead to Riemann zeta function. All right, so I will tell you to first look at this generating function. 1 plus, binary numbers in the power 1 2 4 8, yeah, there is two powers, right? So let us look at this generating function 1 plus x, product of functions 1 plus x square, 1 plus x power 4, 1 plus x power 8, so on. Okay, this product, this powers of 2x, that is product. Now what is this product is equal to? If you multiply and divide by 1 minus a, multiply and divide by 1 minus x, you know this 1 plus x into 1 minus x will give you 1 minus x square, and then that with 1 plus x square will give you 1 minus x power 4, then again that with 1 plus x power 4 will give you 1 minus x power 8, and so on. So if you multiply and divide by 1 by 1, 1 minus x, multiply and divide by 1 minus x, you will get the upper product to be 1 and down will be just 1 by 1 minus x. So this product is same as 1 by 1 minus x, but we know what is 1 by 1 minus x. 1 plus x square plus x cube dot till infinity. So in a sense, I told you to, in the previous video I told you to look about and coefficient being 1, if you remember. In order to prove that there is only one unique representation, now we'll put meaning to the objects. What does x from this mean, and what does x square from this mean, x power 4 from this mean? 1 means picking nothing, that we know. So an x from this means I am picking 1, okay, and an x square from that means basically 2, and x power 4 means 4, as it means x power 8 means 8. So in order to get an n coefficient of x power n, we found out this polynomial product of infinite polynomials. Each thing has only one coefficient 1. What does that mean? By using 1 2 4 8, there is only one way I can get any integer n, because in 1 by 1 minus x every coefficient is 1. So that is directly saying that there is only one representation for any number using 1 2 4 8 etc. And every number has a representation, because 1 by 1 minus x has all polynomial terms or degrees. So this is in fact the definition of a binary number. Every number can be represented in a unique way, and it has only one representation, and every number has a representation. So we have got the idea that every number has a binary representation through generating functions. Now this we have done in the powers of 2. Now let's think about, just like how every number has a unique binary representation, every number has a unique prime factorization. All of us know that, right? So every number has a unique prime factorization. So let us first look at this thing. 1, okay, plus 1 by 2, alright, plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 cube dot, and then save. So what does this actually is? If you notice, this is basically all powers of 2 in the reverse order, because I'm doing 1 by, because we want convergence, right? Over here x we didn't care, because some value of x from 0 to 1, it gives us convergence. So let's look at this product. Over here it matters. I'll tell you, just hang on for a second. Just a second, I'll erase and write this smaller. Yeah, so what I meant was, just like how in binary every number has a unique representation, every number has a unique prime factorization. So I'm telling you, look at this first 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square, 1 by 2 cube dot 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube dot. Now in this, if you notice, every number of the form 1 by 2 power k1 3 power k2, that is every number of the form, it is the reverse of every number n of the form 2 power a 3 power b, that 1 by n I have expressed over here because I want convergence. There's something to do with convergence. So basically every number of the form 1 by 2 power and something and 3 power something is representable through this product, and it appears only once because all 2 powers appear here and all 3 powers appear here. So it doesn't appear more than once, but every number of the form of product of 2 powers and 3 powers appears. So similarly, if I want also every number of the form 2 powers, 3 powers and 5 powers, I will multiply by that also. So 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 cube, 2, 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube, plus add 1 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 5 square. So this includes every number of the form 1 by 2 power something, 3 power something, 5 power something. Now if I do this for all primes, okay, for all primes that I have 1 by 1 plus 1 by p plus 1 by p square, basically every number of the form of product of primes 2, 3, 5, all product of primes, we get that summation. But every number can be represented as a product of prime, and in fact every number has only one unique representation of product of primes. We know this, and I'm not going to prove the theorem, but we know this. So what is that? So this is basically sigma 1 by n. If you notice, for every n I have a unique representation in terms of product of prime, and also it is represented only once, and every n also comes. So that's why this product is equal to this product, is what I'm saying. So for example, if I say I want the number 18, if I want 18, I can get it as, it's basically 18 is nothing but 1 by 18. We worry about 1 by n. So 1 by 18 will be 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 square. So if I get a 2 from here, I'll circle that in a different color. If I take a 2 from here and 1 by 3 square from here, I get 1 by 18. So any number of the form 1 by n, if I want 1, I'll just pick 1 from everything. So any number of the form 1 by n, I can get from this infinite product. But this infinite product is not convergent. So this infinite product is not convergent. So we have to take the powers of k. So to get a convergence for k greater than 1, so every 2 power will become 2 power k, 2 power 2k, 2 power 3k, 3 power k, 3 power 2k, 5 power k, 5 power 2k, and so on. So this infinite product is what is the Riemann zeta function, and its connection, the infinite summation of sigma 1 by n power k is the Riemann zeta function, and this connection to the primes, because 1 by n was not convergent, we did some power k. This is an informal way. So we get 1 by 2 power k, 1 by 2 power 2k and all that. So this is the Riemann zeta function and its relation to primes. But we know what this series is, 1 plus 1 by 2 power k plus 1 by 2 power 2k. This is a geometric progression with some, what is it, 1 by 1 minus k, right? So it will be 1 by, what is the geometric ratio, that's 2 power k, right? So it will be 1 by 1 1 by 2 power minus k, so 1 by 1 2 power k. So this will be 1 by 1 minus 3 power k, 1 by 1 minus 5 power k. This so on for all primes is basically sigma 1 by n power k. This converges for all value greater than or equal, greater than 1, strictly greater than 1. This is the Riemann zeta function. This gives us the Riemann zeta function. This is the Riemann zeta function, to be precise, and this gives us a good connection between primes and infinite product of primes and the Riemann zeta function. Yeah, so that's about that, and then thank you. See you later.